Good day and welcome to the Ministry of Tourism special interview program, Tourism One-on-One, where we explore topical issues affecting the tourism sector as we continue to recover from the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm Kingsley Roberts, your host, and with me today is President of the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association, the JHTA, Mr. Robin Russell. Good to have you, Mr. Russell.
Thank you for having me.
Today, we continue our discussion on how the local tourism sector has been rebounding from the impact of the pandemic. So, Mr. Russell, do you believe the tourism sector will be even more competitive in the post-COVID-19 era?
Yes. It is interesting how persons are looking on tourism right now. Mm-hmm. So a lot of countries are looking at us who have recovered really quickly after COVID and why we've recovered that quickly. And it is tourism. It is the fact that tourism has been very resilient. Although it was the most affected, it seemed to be the industry that bounced back the quickest. And a lot of countries or a lot of companies are looking at it now and are modeling their economies on a tourism basis. So yes, it's going to be interesting to see how countries look at tourism now, because I'm seeing an appreciation for tourism that I've never seen before.
Right. So you're thinking some countries that didn't really take tourism serious might pump money into it and build out strong products and so on and compete with us. And
you can see it where you're seeing it. You're definitely seeing a lot of interest. So recently, we had the Global Tourism Resilience Seminar here, mm-hmm. and Africa played a big part of it. And their ministers are very aggressive. They've come, they want to learn, they want to know what Jamaica has done, how we've been able to recover, and what we're doing. So they're going back with a strong knowledge base as to how to do it, and they're going to be in a competitive market. So it's going to be interesting to see where tourism lies in 2024-25.
Okay, interesting. Tell us now, how have smaller properties across the island been recovering?
We've been recovering pretty well. I personally own a small property, so I can speak on experience. What happened was we it's hard to, COVID was not good for anybody that was weak.
Right.
Whether it was a business or a person, COVID really did. Unfortunately, it did teach us that. But fortunately, coming out of COVID, it has taught us to be a little leaner, really look at what matters and what doesn't, and to run your business a little bit more efficiently. Small businesses are able to be a little bit more nimble, but we were able to survive the pandemic. And because we were able to survive it, being as lean and as nimble as we are, we've come out of COVID as a stronger company or a stronger group of companies, I would say, an industry. So a lot of the numbers that you're seeing, a lot of the increases and a lot of stuff, we're also benefiting from those things.
Okay, so the experience really strengthened what would have been weaker companies before, essentially.
Well, like I said, if you were very weak, you probably didn't make it. And if you were borderline and you were able to make it, you are definitely a stronger company for it. Because COVID did not like the weak. It really taught us, do we really need to do it this way? Yes, we've been profitable doing it this way for years. But when the pandemic hit, you really had to examine every sector of your business. You really had to look, how many employees do we have? Why are we using these plates and not these plates? Why are we, how do we save energy? So, COVID taught you that. COVID said, okay, do we really need to be on JPS all the time? How do we become stronger by using the natural resources that we have? Mm-hmm. So, JHTA is embarking on things like that, cleaner energy. We've signed deals with Cadmus and USAID in providing funding through Wigton to see how greener and more resilient we can be as an industry.
Mm-hmm. So how do you think the tourism sector will be shaped by technology moving forward, coming out of the COVID situation.
It's funny that, technology will drive our industry, but we are the number one reason why I think Jamaica has done so well, it is our people. Okay. I think people love Jamaicans more than they love Jamaica. So technology will drive us in being more efficient. Technology will drive us in putting solar or wind to try and become greener. So technology will drive us to save on water. But I think a big part of Jamaica is that touch and that feel that you get from Jamaica. So whereas people are talking about AI and integrating with AI and stuff like that, I personally don't see it integrating in Jamaica as much because we are the product.
Right. So you're saying the people factor for us, for our destination, is a bit more critical.
Yes.
So that will still be a centerpiece.
Definitely.
Interesting. So talk to us now about, resilience. You kept mentioning that. How important is resilience building in the growth of tourism locally?
Well, COVID taught us that. Right. When your ports were locked down and your airport was locked down and even after COVID, we had supply chain issues of getting products. It has taught us that the next crisis, we need to be in a better place. We need to be more resilient. We need to start feeding ourselves a little better, start producing more food. We need to start producing more of the products that we use in Jamaica and in tourism. So it is part of my mandate to drive that resilience and to drive that innovation in us creating products that we can manufacture here and sell to our tourists or use in the tourism industry.
Mm-hmm. So in terms of the tourism entities themselves, how can resilience building help tourism entities to avoid the type of disruptions that we've seen, in the future, based on the lessons learned from COVID?
Definitely. I mean, if one thing about, a lot of people don't understand with a hotel is I am a year ahead. I sell my rooms a year ahead. I have to publish my rates and I'm selling, and I sign a deal with a tour operator that has already asked me for 2025 hotel rates. Because when they put packages together and they're packaging it with airlines and they're packaging it, I need to give them that rate. Now, if I give them a rate of $100, I'm giving them that a rate on what my expenses are. Mm-hmm. So I know that I'm buying a pound of potato for $100 and I need that pound of potato to be $100 in 2025.
Right.
So when I'm able to build resilience, I'm able to get a sustained expense. I'm able to say, okay, this is what we're doing. This is why we're doing it. And with that resilience, I'm able to get continuity. I'm able to know what I'm doing in the very far future. What is detrimental to a hotel is in a year's time, because we haven't built that resilience, my pound of potato is $500.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tomatoes are whatever, and I can't get this and I can't get that.
So then all your plans are thrown out.
All my plans are thrown out, and I can't get back my revenue. Right. I can't go back to a tour operator and say, oh, by the way, my expenses have doubled. I need you to double your rate. No, they've already sold that room. And that tourist has already paid for that experience. And they don't care. They want to go on the line and they want to see tomatoes and they want to see. So it's very important that we understand how important sustainable building and resilience is to our industry.
Interesting. So what plans does the JHTA have for the future? Just tell us what you're thinking of.
Well, part of the bad image of tourism is that we use a lot of resources, and we do. There is no doubt that tourism hotels burn a lot of power. We use a lot of water. Some say that tourism contributes to damage of reefs and stuff like that. So a big part of tourism must be how to conserve. How do we recycle water better? How do we use less power? How do we, because of the importance of our reefs to our beaches and our water sports, how do we protect those natural resources of the country? How do we ensure that food production doesn't take away from the locals who need to eat as well? So it is important that we learn that we play a crucial role in ensuring that the country grows and grows in a sustainable way that doesn't damage the overall experience for everybody.
Okay, so a lot of focus on sustainability.
A lot of focus must be on sustainability.
So how have you been finding the role of JHTA president?
Boy.
Talk to us about it.
It's I live in Montego Bay,
Right.
and a lot of businesses in Kingston. So I've been coming to Kingston 2-3 times a week. I've been going to Otrius and Negril. So I've been all over the island trying to acclimate myself better with what needs to happen in tourism and being involved in the meetings, because it is important for me to represent the members of my organization.
Right.
So I've been pulled and pushed that my own business has suffered a little bit, but it's been a good journey so far.
Okay, so there's a balancing act there that
I haven't quite figured out the complete balancing. It's more JHTA now, so I'm trying to work it.
So are you liking it?
Yes, definitely. It's challenging. It's really challenging to sit in the rooms and to hear the discussions, and to, you have to speak up because you do represent a big part of the Jamaican economy, and it's sometimes challenging not to be bullied by government and not to be bullied by other sectors that tourism gets too much, and so it is rewarding to see how well tourism has done and what we have contributed to the society and to the economic growth. It's been good.
Okay, great. That brings us to the end of our program. Thanks for joining us today, Mr. Russell. It was a pleasure having you.
You're welcome. It was my pleasure.
Thanks to our viewers for tuning in. Take care and stay safe.